First Contact Weapons Assessment. Begin recording. Galactic Intelligence File #H7729. Classification: Maximum Security. Subject: Human Military Capabilities Assessment. Analyst: Central Director Zextal. This report is compiled for the High Council of the Unified Species Alliance. Information contained herein is considered vital to galactic security. Unauthorized access will result in immediate neural wiping. First contact with the species designated human occurred precisely 37 standard cycles ago, when their primitive radio signals were detected by our outpost in the Orion Spur. Initial assessment classified them as harmless pre-FTL primitives. We now recognize this as our first critical error. When the observation vessel Celestial Observer entered their solar system, humans detected our presence despite our phase shift technology that has successfully hidden our presence from every other species we've encountered. Within minutes of detection, we observed their planetary defense grid activate. This grid was previously undetected by our long-range scans, suggesting camouflage capabilities beyond our understanding. The defense grid consisted of satellites that appeared dormant or civilian in nature until activated. The transformation was immediate and concerning. What appeared to be weather monitoring equipment suddenly revealed energy signatures consistent with directed energy weapons, though of a configuration our analysts still cannot decipher. Most alarming was the speed of their response. Their command structure processed information, made decisions, and deployed countermeasures in 1/7th the time our military simulations predicted possible for a species at their technological level. This efficiency alone warrants caution. When the Celestial Observer attempted to leave the system, a projectile of unknown composition was launched from one of their orbital platforms. Our vessel easily outpaced it, but the tracking capability of this projectile was unprecedented. It continued pursuit for 3 light minutes before detonating. The detonation released an energy signature that temporarily disrupted our long-range communications, suggesting a sophisticated understanding of our communication frequencies that should be impossible for a species with their technological limitations. Further observation from a distance revealed the humans possess a planetary arsenal capable of destroying their own biosphere multiple times over. These weapons, which they call nuclear, involve the controlled splitting or fusing of atoms to release massive energy. Most species discover this technology and immediately abandon it due to its inherent dangers. Humans instead refined it, miniaturized it, and built thousands of delivery systems of varying range and stealth capability. This brings me to their most concerning characteristic. Humans design redundancy in all military systems. If one system fails, another activates. If that fails, a third exists. Their defense doctrine appears built around the assumption of multiple catastrophic failures, yet they plan to continue fighting regardless. Their orbital weapons platforms follow similar redundancy protocols. Each appears capable of operating independently should central command be compromised. Each contains enough firepower to devastate a small moon. Each is hardened against radiation, electromagnetic pulses, and direct kinetic strikes. Most concerning are their projectile weapons. While most advanced civilizations abandon physical projectiles in favor of energy weapons, humans have refined physical projectiles to an art form. Their largest naval vessels carry what they call railguns, weapons that use electromagnetic fields to accelerate projectiles to velocities approaching that of light in atmosphere. The kinetic energy alone makes shields irrelevant. The projectiles simply pass through energy barriers and continue to their target. We have observed variants of these weapons scaled from orbital platforms capable of striking planetary targets to personal weapons carried by individual soldiers. The latter are particularly concerning, as they operate without power sources, using chemical propellants that cannot be disabled by energy-dampening fields. The human personal combat soldier is a walking arsenal. They carry primary and secondary weapons, explosive devices, bladed weapons, and communication equipment. Their body armor, while primitive by our standards, is specifically designed to defeat their own weapons, suggesting they regularly fight among themselves and have evolved combat doctrine accordingly. Intelligence has recovered fragments of their military history. Most species undergo one or two planetary conflicts before achieving unity. Humans have engaged in continuous warfare throughout their recorded history. Even now, with the capability to destroy their planet, they maintain separate nation-states with competing military forces. This constant state of military evolution has created a species that views conflict as inevitable rather than avoidable. Their ground forces utilize vehicles they call tanks, armored platforms with main guns utilizing the same principles as their orbital railguns, merely scaled down. These platforms can operate in nearly any terrain, from Arctic regions to deserts, from mountain ranges to shallow seas. They are built to withstand direct hits from similar platforms and continue fighting. Their aerial combat vehicles demonstrate similar versatility. They range from supersonic fighters capable of maneuvers that would kill most species due to G-forces, to stealth bombers virtually invisible to standard detection methods. The latter particularly concerns our military analysts, as these craft can penetrate deep into protected airspace without detection, a capability previously thought impossible without quantum phase technology. Most concerning is what humans call their special forces, small teams of soldiers trained for operations behind enemy lines. These individuals undergo training so rigorous that 70 to 90% of candidates fail. Those who succeed can operate without support in hostile environments for extended periods, using only what they carry or can acquire locally. Their adaptability makes them unpredictable, and their tactical doctrine emphasizes asymmetric warfare, precisely the type of combat our standardized military procedures are least equipped to counter. Humans have a concept they call improvisation, the ability to adapt tactics and equipment to unforeseen circumstances. Our military doctrine, refined over thousands of years, emphasizes standardized responses to standardized threats. Humans reject standardization in favor of flexibility. This makes predicting their responses nearly impossible. Recent intelligence suggests humans are aware of our continued observation. Rather than hiding their military capabilities, they have become increasingly open about demonstrations, conducting exercises in locations easily observable by our remaining stealth platforms. This suggests either confidence in their defensive capabilities or a deliberate strategy of deterrence through demonstration. Our psychological analysis team believes humans are sending a clear message. They are aware of our presence, aware of our technological superiority, and yet unafraid. This psychological profile is unique among first-contact species and suggests a confidence that may be justified given our observations of their military readiness. The High Council must consider all diplomatic options before military engagement with humans is contemplated. Their combination of technological innovation, tactical flexibility, and psychological readiness for conflict makes them potentially the most dangerous species encountered since the devourers of the third spiral arm. I am therefore recommending establishment of deep cover intelligence operations on their homeworld to better assess their true capabilities and intentions. Understanding humans may be our only path to peaceful coexistence with them. End of initial assessment. Galactic Standard Date 7729-42.3. Central Director Zextal. Signing off. The Unthinkable Arsenal. Begin recording. Galactic Intelligence File Hashtag H7729. Classification: Cosmic Clearance Only. Subject: Advanced Human Military Capabilities. Analyst: High Director Zextal. This report follows my initial assessment, delivered 12 cycles ago. In that time, our deep cover operatives have infiltrated human society sufficiently to gather more detailed information about their military capabilities. What we have discovered necessitates immediate attention from the High Council. The humans have detected and captured 3 of our 19 infiltration operatives. None activated their neural self-termination implants. We must assume all information carried by these operatives has been compromised. More concerning is that humans have made no public announcement of these captures, suggesting covert interrogation and study of our biology and technology. Human space-based military assets exceed our initial estimates by a factor of 7. Most concerning are what humans designate black projects, military developments hidden from their own population. These projects receive funding through obscured channels and operate in facilities that officially do not exist. Our operatives have confirmed at least 17 such facilities in what they call North America alone. One such facility, designated Deep 6 by humans, appears dedicated to reverse engineering technology from what humans call crashed extraterrestrial craft. While most such claims among their population are easily dismissed as fantasy, our operative G741 confirmed that the facility contains wreckage from a Scrixath scout ship that went missing 60 local years ago. The level of understanding humans have achieved by studying this wreckage is unknown, but energy signatures detected from the facility suggest attempts to replicate Scrixath phase drive technology. Human spacecraft deserve special attention. While appearing primitive with their reliance on chemical propellants, their military vessels incorporate stealth technology that renders them nearly invisible to standard detection methods. More concerning are recent launches containing what humans call kinetic bombardment systems, essentially orbital platforms designed to drop tungsten rods onto planetary targets. These weapons require no explosive component. The kinetic energy of impact alone creates explosive force equivalent to tactical nuclear weapons without the radioactive aftermath. Their naval forces demonstrate similar innovation. Their latest submarines can remain submerged for years without surfacing, carrying enough firepower to devastate coastal regions of an entire continent. These vessels utilize a propulsion system that extracts oxygen from water, eliminating the need to surface for air. Their noise signature is below our detection threshold when more than one stellar unit away. Perhaps most disturbing is human research into what they term directed energy weapons. While most species develop laser technology as an intermediate step toward quantum phase weapons, humans have refined laser technology to unprecedented levels. Their most advanced systems can adjust wavelength in microseconds to penetrate any known defensive shield, suggesting an understanding of energy manipulation that should be beyond their current technological level. Human ground forces demonstrate similar advancement. Their latest body armor incorporates reactive elements that harden instantly at impact points. Some variants include exoskeletal components that enhance soldier strength and endurance. Most concerning are prototype suits that include active camouflage, materials that change color and pattern to match surroundings, rendering soldiers nearly invisible to visual detection. Their information warfare capabilities cannot be overstated. Humans have weaponized their global information network, developing cyber weapons capable of disabling critical infrastructure remotely. Our analysis suggests these weapons could potentially affect our own systems despite the vast technological gap, due to humans' unique approach to information security that focuses on offensive rather than defensive capabilities. What humans call psychological operations represent another unique threat. Unlike most species who develop truthful communication as technology advances, humans have refined deception into a military discipline. They create false information indistinguishable from truth, seed it through multiple channels, and use it to manipulate perception and decision-making among target populations. This capability makes intelligence gathering problematic, as we cannot always distinguish legitimate information from fabricated deception. Human unconventional warfare deserves special attention. They have developed biological agents that target specific genetic markers, allowing for weapons that could theoretically affect one species while leaving others unharmed. While international conventions among humans prohibit such weapons, our intelligence confirms continued research under the guise of defensive preparation. Their adaptation of civilian technology for military use demonstrates unprecedented ingenuity. Commercial drones modified for warfare, agricultural chemicals repurposed as explosives, communication networks weaponized for intelligence gathering. The line between civilian and military technology is deliberately blurred in human strategic thinking. Most concerning is what humans call the MacGyver principle, the ability to create weapons from seemingly harmless everyday objects. This principle, named after a fictional human with extraordinary improvisational abilities, has been institutionalized in their special forces training. Our operatives report exercises where human soldiers are placed in controlled environments with seemingly random objects and tasked with creating effective weapons. The results challenge our understanding of what constitutes dangerous material. The human approach to artificial intelligence represents another unique threat. While most species develop AI as a separate entity, humans are pursuing neural interfaces, direct connections between human brains and computer systems. The potential military applications include pilots mentally linked to aircraft, eliminating reaction delay, and potentially achieving maneuvers that would kill an unaugmented pilot. 6 cycles ago, we attempted to neutralize a human military research facility designated Olympus using a targeted graviton pulse, a technique that leaves no evidence of external attack. The facility's systems detected the graviton buildup before initiation and activated countermeasures of unknown type. The pulse was reflected back to its source, destroying our stealth platform. Human media reported the incident as a meteor explosion, but surveillance indicates heightened alert status at all major military installations following the event. Human diplomatic channels subsequently sent encoded messages to 15 coordinate points outside their solar system, coordinates with no known stellar bodies or installations. The purpose and recipients of these messages remain unknown, but the timing suggests a connection to our failed operation. Most troubling is a conversation intercepted between 2 high-ranking military officials 3 cycles ago. When discussing potential extraterrestrial threats, one stated, "Let them come. Every war game scenario shows the same thing. They might win the first battle, maybe even the second, but humans never stop. We adapt. We reverse engineer their own weapons to use against them. We fight dirty when we have to. Eventually, they'll realize the cost of victory is too high." This sentiment appears common among human military leadership, a psychological certainty that they would ultimately prevail in any protracted conflict, regardless of initial technological disadvantage. Historical analysis suggests this confidence is not unfounded. Human military history shows numerous examples of technologically inferior forces ultimately prevailing through adaptation, asymmetric tactics, and sheer determination. My final assessment, which I submit with grave concern, is that military engagement with humans would be catastrophic regardless of outcome. Their combination of technological innovation, tactical flexibility, psychological resilience, and willingness to absorb massive casualties while continuing to fight makes them uniquely dangerous among all known species. I therefore recommend immediate cessation of all intelligence operations in human territory, withdrawal of all surveillance assets to beyond their detection capability, and establishment of a quarantine zone encompassing their entire solar system. Any future contact should be initiated by them, not us, and approached with maximum diplomatic caution. The humans have a concept they call a sleeping giant, a powerful entity that, once awakened to threat, brings its full might to bear without mercy or restraint. We would be wise not to be the ones who wake this particular giant. End of final assessment. Galactic Standard Date 774138.6. High Director Xtal, signing off with extreme prejudice.